top, you take this rescue tube off the pole behind me, and then once you're in the water, you send it out to the person who needs it. That way they're holding onto the tube and not onto you. It's been quiet out here all day. There hasn't been any people out here, and the wind honestly has been brutal and really uncomfortable, but that hasn't stopped some from working or even bringing their families out here to Pensacola Beach. People in the path of Idalia don't have to evacuate hundreds of miles away. Instead, Governor DeSantis says they can go anywhere outside the risk of flooding, and I found some people are coming here to Santa Rosa County. It's clear that the parking lot gets full super fast. The Santa Rosa Island Authority suggests to come out here as early as possible as you can to get a spot and make a full beach day out of it. Excuse me as I try not to fangirl. I'm here with Angie Harmon, the one and only. Thank you for chatting with me.
Absolutely, thank you.
So I understand this is your first convention experience.
It is.
So just talk to me about what brought you out here to Pensacon. Chris, you definitely let the good times roll. The parade was full of happy, high energy, beautiful floats and throws. The pastor I spoke to is excited about this opportunity. It's in a centralized location here in downtown, and he's hoping to draw in more people to expose them to the area. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Sha'De Ray. Local Mardi Gras crews in Pensacola banded together in a competition to help combat the issue. If you want to donate blood, you can schedule appointments with nonprofits like the American Red Cross and One Blood. We have links for you on our website. This week, several events in Pensacola will celebrate the life of Martin Luther King Jr. The Escambia County Sheriff's Office needs your help tonight. Community Health Northwest Florida now has full communications. The Los Angeles County Medical Examiner Office says it is investigating the deaths of at least 24 people in connection to the wildfires raging across Southern California. Meanwhile, the head of FEMA warns the wildfire situation in Los Angeles is still dangerous. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Sha'De Ray. Desk Run Director Jackie Syverson says this is a time to remember their bravery and sacrifice and to continue to make a difference. Syverson says money raised during the run goes to the Travis Mannon Foundation. She says the foundation helps veterans, families of the fallen, and inspired civilians through community projects. Take a look behind me. These doors here have already been boarded up, and the metal roof here was torn off by the twister and still needs some repairs. Now, the National Weather Service report shows the tornado touched down here and was on the ground for half a mile. Winds were as strong as 95 miles per hour. Here at Ellison Industrial Park in Escambia County, the National Weather Service confirms an EF1 tornado barreled through Tuesday afternoon. The tornado ripped away metal roofs, scattered metal siding, and damaged several vehicles. But there was no warning. Jason Beeman with the National Weather Service explained why that happened.
Yesterday, unfortunately, the storms were very shallow. Our radar, when it looks into the Pensacola area, is looking at about 3,000, 3,500 feet up in the atmosphere. These storms weren't producing any lightning. They were very small. So the actual rotation within the storm was likely only extending up maybe 1,000 feet, if that. So our radar was really overshooting the circulation closer to the ground, and it was virtually impossible for us to detect on radar, unfortunately.
To determine the strength, Beeman says there were multiple factors to consider.
So we're looking at the degree of building damage, the degree of tree damage, and what that exact damage is. So is it just roof loss? Is it total destruction of a building? Is it trees uprooted, trees snapped? All those things help us.
At least 3 people were injured, 2 of them transported to the hospital. Escambia County Emergency Manager Travis Tompkins says he's grateful it wasn't worse.
With the intensity of what it was in just this small burst, and there was people still here at work. I'm very thankful that more people didn't get hurt.
Elisa Johnson is the operations manager for Oasis Preferred Maintenance. She says she was inside when the tornado ripped off the metal roof.
I heard the building starting to rattle, so I ran into the bathroom, shut the door, and everything started crashing down, and you could just hear everything being ripped apart.
She says she didn't know what was going to happen next.
It's very scary inside when that's happening, and like you just think, I just said a prayer and just thought that was it. So
now all this happened very fast. The report shows the tornado was only on the ground for a minute. Now Johnson says they'll start making repairs here as soon as possible, but they do have 2 other locations to keep business going. Live at Ferry Pass, Sha'De Ray, WEAR News. The owner says the people broke in not only once, but twice, and he was shocked to see his work shed nearly empty. Take a look. Dressed in dark hoodies, their faces covered in masks. You see 2 people walking into this work shed. At one point, one of them is caught without their mask. This video, all captured by surveillance cameras outside Pittman's Cantonment Building Materials. Owner Dylan Johnson inherited this business from his grandfather, who opened the store in 1982.
A lot of the stuff they stole belonged to my grandfather, which he started the business, and he just passed away last December. So, but they stole a lot of stuff that was his that I had up here that we used to work on stuff. So it meant a lot to me.
I toured the workshop. What was left?
This whole wall was full of tools.
Wasn't much. This is the list. 3 pages worth of stolen items, from fuel to wrenches to even a Bluetooth speaker.
We don't have any tools to work on stuff at the moment, so when something breaks, which has happened since the robbery, and we don't have any tools, so it puts us down, puts us behind a little bit.
Johnson showed me a hole in the fence behind his business.
They cut the fence right here.
He says he thinks this is how the people got in. He found tools dropped along that path. Now, he wants whoever did this to be caught. The sheriff's office is still investigating the burglary. If anyone knows anything, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers at 433-STOP. Live in Cantonment, Sha'De Ray, WEAR News. The brewing company that held this event says this was just a small thing they can do to honor him. Today was a chance for people who knew and loved Lefford to get together and heal. The co-owner of the brewing company who hosted the event says he knew Lefford would want to have a celebration instead of sadness. My Ohana flags flew high today in Niceville. Ohana is a Hawaiian term for family, an important word for the community after losing someone who felt like family to them. Mike Ledford was more well known as Sushi Mike. For years, Mike served up hot meals from his food truck called My Ohana. He often parked his truck next to Third Planet Brewing, and that's where his friendship with Brian Detweiler began.
It was so surreal. Spent 3 or 4 days just waiting to wake up to hear that it was just a bad dream.
It rocked. It rocked everybody in a big way.
Ledford was killed 2 weeks ago after police said he died after being stabbed. Police found him badly hurt after the attack behind the CVS in the Oak Creek Plaza. Today, the Niceville community gathered to celebrate Ledford's life at the brewing company.
For Mike's family, in addition to the customers, the food trucks, just the whole community of food trucks are family to him, and they all looked up to him, and he helped them a lot. So, we thought, what better way than to honor him and celebrate him than by having all of his food truck family here to help him out.
The event was called Ohana Day, named after the famous food truck. Hundreds of people honored with Ledford's passion, good food, and celebrated his life with music and dancing.
We're going to do one of Mike's favorite songs.
Donations were collected from food trucks and games. The proceeds will help Ledford's family, his wife and little son and daughter. Chuck Tidwell with the band Duchess also performed. He shared a close friendship with Sushi Mike for years.
He's just an awesome guy, great food, always a smile, always upbeat, just a great guy.
Brian Detweiler met Ledford when he first worked at a sushi bar. It was clear even then that Ledford never forgot a friendly face.
He remembered talking to me at the sushi bar where he had been working from 2 years before that.
Sunday's Sea of Support was proof that Sushi Mike's community will always remember his life and legacy. Just like how Ledford never forgets who he talks to, the community will always remember Sushi Mike. Dylan Deshane is charged with second-degree murder and Ledford's death. He's being held in the Okaloosa County Jail without bond. Live in the studio, Sha'De Ray, WEAR News. You just had to be there to understand the feeling. The loud noises of the cars zooming by and the high energy of the crowd was contagious. Sunday was a day full of noise and speed. 44 drivers after the $50,000 grand prize at the Snowball Derby. People packed the bleachers to get the best view of the cars flying by.
I haven't missed one since I was probably his age.
Dayton Seigner says he wants to make sure his kids were in on the tradition of taking in this fast-paced energy.
These people showing up from all over the country is the reason that we're able to keep doing this every year. Campers started rolling in Sunday. We parked ours last Sunday, and if you like hanging out and just having a good time and watching some good racing, this is the place to be.
Seidner says he's happy to watch the growth of the Snowball Derby.